Hey everyone. Today I want to explore the question, is art unique to humans? G.K. Chesterton says in Everlasting Man that art is the signature of man. And if we think about what a signature is your unique stamp. It's how people can identify you. That's why you have to sign when you're paying something, or sign your name on a document or a contract. It's because it is something that signifies that it is specifically you. You are unique, and that signature is a sign of that uniqueness. And I do think that Chesterton was saying that art is our signature. It is what makes us, or at least one of the things that makes us unique from the rest of creation. But if you look at nature, we do see a number of animals that at least apparently produce something like art. Birds produce nests, beavers produce dams, spiders make spider webs, or maybe you saw those videos that went viral of the painting elephants, right? In those cases, they're actually using paint brushes, they're putting the paint on the brushes and putting it to canvas. I mean, that has to be art, right? And I would say, no, I don't think it qualifies as art. And hopefully I can make sense of that here in just a moment. One quote that I think is really helpful actually comes from Karl Marx. And that may be a bit of a surprise to anyone who's listening to this, especially if you know me, because I'd probably never quote Karl Marx in a positive light in any other context. But I think he's right on here. And he writes this, he says, "A spider conducts operations that resemble those of a weaver, and a bee puts to shame many an architect in the construction of her cells. But what distinguishes the worst architect from the best of the bees is this, that the architect raises his structure in imagination before he erects it in reality. At the end of every labor process, we get a result that already existed in the imagination." And so I think what Marx is telling us here is that when these kinds of works are produced, what makes it unique to humans is that we employ the imagination. Art requires the imagination, and this is something unique to humans. I think that there's also a sense in which art must be intentional. It must be a work that we seek to actually accomplish. Now, you may choose to keep that work of art private, but it is the kind of thing that lends itself to aesthetic judgment, right? It's the kind of thing that if you presented it to people, people can look at it and admire it for its strengths, for its aesthetic qualities, for its beauty, but can also critique it for in whatever areas it might fall short. You're never going to see beavers, after building a dam, grabbing lawn chairs and laying out by the river and just appreciating the work of building the dam. You're never going to see spiders gather together and look at the intricately woven spider webs and compare which one has more beauty to the other. Right? This is something that only humans do. And so when we think about art, art is something that is rooted in the imagination and lends itself to aesthetic judgment. Why do I think this is important? I think this is important because the scriptures tell us that man and woman are made in the image of God. And so as people made in the image of God, as people who are made in likeness to the Creator, we also create. We were created by God, who has created beautifully. And so there's a sense in which we too create and seek to create beautifully in His reflection. Now, I realize not every artist is a believer in God. But whether or not you believe in God is irrelevant to my point, because I'm not talking about belief in God, right? But if Christianity is true, and I think that there's good reasons to believe that it is, then even the non-believer, when they produce beautiful art, is in fact showing the image of God and reflecting the image of God in which they are made. We are creators because we were first created and then made in the image of our Creator. I think art is ultimately a sign that humans are not merely animals and point to something that is transcendent. I'd love to get your thoughts on this. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. If you're an artist, we'd love to know, what is it that you make? What is it that you produce as you reflect the image of our Creator? And feel free to link your artwork down below. I'd love to take a look at it. Until next time, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and I'd love to hear from you. So make sure to comment, and if you like this sort of video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, as I'll be producing more videos like this in the near future.